Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Good Morning Sol. And today I'm going to be doing another character study, and it's gonna be for a video game sci-fi franchise. And if you aren't familiar with this franchise, it's gonna be like I feel like a couple of my series kind of alienates the audience a little bit more than the other ones. Character studies are very specific. A lot of what I make this podcast for is music to just kind of turn on, just in the background to do whatever you want to do with it. But I realize that's really hard to do with something like this, because it's if you don't know what I'm talking about, then it's kind of what's the point? That being said, I'm talking about one of my favorite video game franchises, and that is Mass Effect. And the latest Mass Effect game was easily the most polarizing one, Mass Effect Andromeda. It was a very love it or hate it game. I personally loved it. I didn't love it as much as the old series because, it is its own entity, and a lot of why I like the original series is different than why I like this game. The original Mass Effect was this very Star Wars epic, and now with Mass Effect Andromeda it was very much just choose your own adventure, explore the galaxy and have fun and do whatever the fuck you want kind of game. That being said though, I had a lot of fun with it, and easily my favorite and the most fun character from that game was Peebee. And instantly you could tell from just the trailers and how they were presenting this character that they had a soft spot for her, because we see in the trailer the way it introduces her face she is an Asari, and in that game series that basically means she is this blue colored chick, and she basically lives for 1,000 years because that's normal for the Asari. And she also has this very distinct shadow, I don't know what to call it. The Asari have weird dots and birthmark type things on their faces and on their hands or wherever else. And she just happens to have this one weird thing with her eyes where it looks like she has this raccoon mask. It's a very interesting design, and the rest of her appearance is also very attention grabbing. She's wearing this purple jacket which matches the Asari color scheme, which is pretty much just blue and purple. But the jacket for some reason doesn't cover her belly button, and she has just combat pant things, and she has a very cool design. And basically she's a teammate on your squad for this adventure that you go on throughout the galaxy. I'm gonna just stop talking I'm trying to talk to people who haven't played this game series. Alright, so I love Peebee in this game. She is one of the most fun characters. I love the way when it was introduced in the game, literally, because she's this REM tech nerd, and she's obsessed with the remnant. She's this weird nerd about REM technology, and literally you're just fucking around on her technology site. She's very similar to Liara in the way she's obsessed with tech, but her personality is a complete opposite to Liara. So basically literally she tackles you and is sitting on top of you. And that's how we get introduced to this character, which was a little much, but it does say a lot about her character, because she's supposed to be this fun, flirty, adventurous person, which the Asari, that doesn't describe a lot of the Asari. A lot of the Asari are wisdom. They are elderly, kind of matriarchs and stuff like that, where it's they live for 1,000 years. And even Samara in the past games, she said, I envy humans because you guys only live for 50 or 150 years, which is the normal, which is normal in Mass Effect. It's not our current age, what is it called? That's not our current lifespan, but I guess it lengthens out in the future. But she's saying, oh, I envy you guys, you only live for 150 years, so you really like make the most with your time, whereas the 𝘊𝘊𝘊𝘆 are kind of like slower and take a lot of time to do shit. Which fucking Peebee is only 100 years old, which is young for the 𝘊𝘊𝘊𝘆, which she's, I think 𝘊𝘊𝘊𝑆 is also like 100 years old, which is like young. And her real name is 𝘚𝘵𝘶𝘥𝘺𝘢𝘊𝘆𝘊𝘆, but her nickname is Peebee. Like I was looking her up for this video, and I was like, who the fuck is 𝘚𝘵𝘶𝘥𝘊𝘆𝘊𝘆? I guess that's her real name. I originally was gonna do like some kind of analysis video specifically about Peebee after I finished 𝘚𝘵𝘶𝘥𝘺, because I wasn't doing a review because I really want to replay this game, even though I don't get to fucking replay video games anymore. But I really wanted to replay it, and I really wanted to make a video. And I did get a video out for 𝘚𝘵𝘶𝘥𝘆. It's called Defending 𝘚𝘚𝘵𝘶𝘥𝘆. You can find that on my Soul Show channel. It's like an hour long, just me breaking down like everything I thought like in one long podcast. But I wanted to make a video specifically about Peebee, but I was never able to, like it just kind of fell through the cracks. So I thought this would kind of like be my like resurrection of that idea. Like instead of doing like some kind of analysis video on this character, I can at least do like a GoodMorningSol. And I even altered the thumbnail that I was originally gonna use for that video for this thumbnail. So that's a cool little behind the scenes info for you guys. But so Peebee's background, according to her wiki here, her mother had her late in life. Her father is 𝘊𝘊𝘊𝘆, which I thought she was being sarcastic when she said that. Literally, like the best things about Mass Effect 𝘚𝘵𝘴 is like you get to hear these characters like even more than you heard the old characters. Like you really get to know these characters. And like I watched a couple videos saying that these characters were forgettable in this game. They're not as good as the old crew, but they still are great characters. But Peebee's dad, I guess, is an 𝘊𝘊𝘊𝘆, even though I thought she was joking about that. But anyway, she had at least one older half-sister who was pure blood, according to Peebee. Apart from her conception, her mom only mated with other 𝘊𝘊𝘊𝘆. And again, if you don't play this fucking game franchise, you might want to just click off the video. Anyway, as a child, she was raised primarily by her mother and her sister, hailing from Port Lamera, blah blah blah. Peebee grew bored of living in the Milky Way and joined the 𝘚𝘵𝘴𝘆𝑒𝑟 Initiative, and then with her then girlfriend 𝘊𝘊𝘆𝘆. And 𝘊𝘊𝘆𝘆 basically is her former love interest, now kind of enemy. She really is trying to betray Peebee and get back at her. Like Peebee is this free spirit that goes from like extraordinary like quest to extraordinary quest wherever the wind takes her. Like there's multiple times where she's like talking about just leaving the whole like your whole crew and just fucking off and going in the middle of nowhere. Like, and she has no like there's no like hesitation or like that feeling of like, oh, like I'm really sorry about this. She's like, oh, I'm just gonna fucking leave, okay, bye. She's very adventurous. Like that's her main quality, is she's adventurous, she's flirty, and very like she speaks her mind. So she's a very fun character. Like this is a perfect character for a Mass Effect game, because these are the kind of characters that will just open up and spill like everything about them to you. Which like people do that in real life, and it's like you really kind of get to have these like very realistic feelings with these sci-fi characters. It's very cool. This is why I love Mass Effect. But anyway, Peebee was woken up from stasis very shortly after arriving with 𝘊𝘊𝘆𝘆, and her whole her loyalty mission I'm not gonna go too into. She created this Pock thing. I love Pock. I love her like little relationship with Pock. And then 𝘊𝘊𝘆𝘆 tries to like basically steal the technology and yada yada yada. You help fuck up 𝘚𝘵𝘦𝘢. You get the choice to kill 𝘚𝘚𝘦. I think I saved her. I think I saved 𝘚𝘚𝘦, and then, you know, we scolded her or whatever. But anyway, I'm still reading the background, and I lost my place. Peebee was woken up from stasis shortly after arrival by 𝘚𝘚𝘦, who was among the first wave unfrozen. Because Peebee's revival was unauthorized, the in-game codex in Mass Effect Andromeda states she should be in stasis. She lived off the grid for a period of time. 𝘚𝘚𝘦 helped her to get identifying documents and access to vital resources, as well as introducing Peebee, who she fondly called her little rogue, to her social circle. Although Peebee enjoyed this, it became clear the relationship was emotionally abusive. 𝘚𝘚𝘦 ended things on her terms and disappeared at about the same time Peebee began studying remnant ruins. That's a pretty cool backstory. I like the fact that she's like this off-the-grid character. But like, there's so much going on. Like when you first enter like Mass Effect Andromeda, it's like they try to make it like this is all just suddenly happening, and then it's like, oh no, we've been unfreezing and unfreezing people for a long time, and like, yeah, it like very like is inconsistent with the pacing in that regard. But she's also a romance opportunity in the game. It doesn't matter if you're male or a female rider. She's open to both because she's an Asari. That's kind of commonplace for them. Like, it'd be weird if she wasn't, in all honesty, just judging by Asari culture and judging by like how much fucking perverted Mass Effect is sometimes. And she was my romance choice, by the way, because I was trying to do what I do in each of these games, which is like to build a relationship with all the romance characters up to the point where you have to like make a decision. And that's mostly because I want to fucking like understand these characters like as deeply as possible. Like I would do that with everyone. Like, and in this game, like, there's real ramifications for that. Whereas in like Mass Effect 2, it'd be like, hey, you should probably talk to Jack, because Tali would be like, you should probably do that or something, because I don't know where we stand. And that would be like the big conversation. Whereas in this, you have to like directly, like, I had a scene with Cora, and she like opened up to you, and you have to either reject her or you gotta fucking be like, oh no, I'm here. And it's not like a happy scene. Like, that broke my heart seeing that scene. I was like, maybe I should have just been friends this whole time. Like, you play it like a fucking video game and you get treated with human interactions. Like, that is so crazy. That has never happened to me in any fucking video game. I treated them like video game characters, and then they like got fucking hurt. I hurt their feelings. It was awful. But anyway, so Peebee, like, she is very much like how Jack was a like a potential romance, in the fact that like you don't actually have to have like a relationship to get the romance, quote unquote. She like with Jack, you're just like an option because of her which matches her character. But at the same time, like, if you win for that, it's like obviously the actual romance is like much better. And like to see, like, because my writer was very sarcastic, very like I hate acting like he was like this type of way, because this game really doesn't allow you to have like the customization and like the feeling that you're progressing your character like you did with Shepard. It's kind of just like, oh, whatever you want to fucking press on this dialogue wheel, it doesn't matter. And there's no like consequences for acting different types of ways. These are just some of the commonplace problems with Andromeda. But since there is so many dialogue choices and so many like different things, it doesn't like, it's not a huge deal. It kind of is, but it isn't, because like there's so many. It doesn't matter what you fucking say, and let's be honest, in the original trilogy, like a lot of what you said didn't matter. Like, I've played Mass Effect 2 and 3, like, religiously before. Like, I played, like, through the entire game, like, half a dozen times at least, through each 3 games. And it doesn't fucking matter what choices you make. Okay, let's see. I'm 15 minutes in, god damn it. I still have a lot of shit I want to say. So, I like Peebee because she is, like, you're on this huge adventure, and, like, you have, like, the perfect wingman for this crazy adventure. And you get to, like, everything she says is so much fun. And she has, like, the best party banter. Half of, like, why I love, or not, obviously not half of why I like the game, but a huge, major, awesome reason why Andromeda is so great is simple party banter. Where you're just in the fucking, I forget what the new Mako is called already. Whatever the new car is that I'm forgetting. Like, just driving around in that car, hearing my teammates just discuss random bullshit, and actually seeing their relationship grow and actually, like, develop because of that. Like, if I had Cora and Peebee when I was, like, obviously trying to romance both of them, they would actually talk to each other as if, like, that was a real thing. And it was, like, the best thing ever. Or I loved, like, all the conversations she had with Joel. Like, Joel's dry comedy mixed with Peebee's, like, adventurous, like, kind of just like, hey, Joel, like, hey. She would just be like, that moment where Joel falls asleep in the car, and she's like, did you seriously just fall asleep? Like, how can you fall asleep? Or the line, he's like, were you putting like lotion on your neck flaps? He's like, my neck flaps. He's so many great moments with this character. Like, she's so much fun, and everything I like about the Asari is, like, amplified by her. Like, a lot of why I like Liara, like, it's like she's this cool, like, badass kinda, especially when she becomes a shadow broker. But it's like, she's not, like, the most interesting character. She's, like, the scientist, and she's also, like, a loyal companion, and she also has, like, this amazing voice ability. Like, her voice actor is, or actress, I should say, is great. Whereas Peebee, she's just, like, the most, like, fun character, and she is obviously, like, if the Asari are supposed to live for 1,000 years and live these boring lives, she's, like, the type of person who, like, doesn't want that. Her quote on her wiki here, like, perfectly sums up her character. She said, like, the Milky Way was so been there, done that. Even if I hadn't have done it, someone had. And it's like, that's, like, one of the best things about Andromeda. It's like, you're doing so many things, and it's like every achievement, like, you're making, it's like you're progressing this entire galaxy, and it feels like you're making these huge, like, leaps and bounds for this entire culture and for all of these places. And I really just want to fucking turn on Andromeda again and just kind of explore the areas I didn't get to fully explore. Because once I finished the game, I was like, I'm gonna do a couple more things. And then it was like, a couple more things. And then it was like, okay, I really need to play whatever my next game is. But as long as I can, like a lot of, like, why I play games is, like, to make a video about it. A lot of, like, why I experience art is to make a video about it. Like, if there's no, like, final product that's coming out of it, like, there's a huge lack of incentive for me to see it. Like, unless it's, like, this little, like, treat for me. Like, Marvel movies, because I don't review them, because I do want to get into comics before I review all that shit. Like, those are, like, my, like, just go to the movies and have fun. And I felt like when I was playing Andromeda, I knew I couldn't do a review for it. So part of it was just like, I can have all the fun I want to with this game and not have to worry about a fucking video. Which I know, like, sounds like I'm technically making a video about it right now. So it's like, there's always something. And even if I go back, like, I can make a video about that, like, returning to Andromeda. Like, even that could be, like, a fucking video. And I didn't even talk about Peebee's voice actress, Christine Locken. And I don't know any of the work she's done, so I'm gonna read it up right now. She was in a lot of films, actually. Okay. I've heard of none of these. She was in a lot of television shows, Veronica Mars, CSI, a lot of things I don't recognize, and video games. She was in Uncharted Golden Abyss, which I didn't play. She was Jane in Walking Dead Season 2. That's cool. Oh, I guess she was in Walking Dead A New Frontier. That's a spoiler for me. I probably shouldn't have looked that up. But yeah, that's a great voice actress. She was such a fun character. Like, really, like, if you don't have good voice actors in a Mass Effect game, it's like, good God, you're losing out on so much. Oh, she was the voice of Joyce in Family Guy. That's cool. Yeah, I love Peebee. I don't think I can say that enough. Her character design, the way like she like flirts is like obviously cringy because in Mass Effect like Andromeda, like there will be like literally you can just go up to them and like talk to them like in this like flirt dialogue choice, but the dialogue choice seems like it was made for like a long conversation, not just like you walk up to them and be like hi and then be like, what does he say? What does Ryder say? He's like I like it when you flirt. He literally says that or something like that, and it's like the most cringy line. Like it's so awkward. But it's like everything she says is like so much better. But yeah, there's so many great scenes with Peebee. She is the type of character I can just watch a like best of list. I literally just clicked on a fucking video that's like the movie night, and I never got to that, so I'm not gonna spoil myself. But I literally just saw a screenshot of something I really fucking should have done, where you all just watch a movie together. I really want to play this game again. I shouldn't have done this to myself. But anyway, Peebee is one of the greatest characters in Mass Effect. Like these are the kinds of characters like I want like figures of, like, and like everything like that Andromeda, like the good qualities of that video game I can say about this character. And you know, like it makes like I don't know how to phrase this. The fact that she's like into REM technology, like sure that's like a way to get her into the plot, and sure it's kind of like this like way for her to have a loyalty mission. It's like filler stuff for that character, but it's also like I like characters who like have their own interests and bullshit things going on with them. Like you know you like hanging out with the Krogans because you get to do shit like be in bar fights with them. Like that, like with Drax, that was an amazing scene. You like hanging out with, what's a good example? You like hanging out with like Jack because she's gonna, or like with Garrus when you go sniping. Like when you actually like kind of know their like fun activities. Like with Jack, she talks about like fucking shit up, you know, before she, you know, became this good person or whatever. Yeah, there's so many things I could talk about this character, and I've already been talking for like 24 minutes. Maybe I should just wrap this up. Anyway, I love Peebee, as you can tell. One of the best characters from this game. And yeah, thank you for listening as always, guys. I'll see you for the next character study, and I'll have another episode of Good Morning Soul tomorrow. Anyway, thank you for watching as always, and with that, I leave you.